Welcome to the Cozy Vale. Today's video is about the rules within Palia that are made by the community and not the game itself. These are more like guidelines instead of rules, I guess you could say. But before we get into the video, if you haven't joined our cozy crew, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel today to see more guides and tutorials. Now, on to the video. Often while playing, I'm always seeing new players looking for certain items that they need to request. But unfortunately, sometimes they're just too scared to say anything. Whenever you need something, don't be afraid to ask in chat if someone can fill your request. As long as you are not spamming the chat, most people in the game are more than willing to help you out. The truth is, most of us just forget to even check the item request board, mainly because it's tucked away. But whenever you put it in the chat, it helps us to remember to pull it up and look at it. And to be honest, I feel like most players are like me and we hoard everything pretty much. So we have plenty of items to send without even having a needing to look. But do keep in mind, if your request is fulfilled, you should at least thank them. Again, you don't really have to, but it is nice of you to do so. Also, don't forget, if you fulfill a request and someone doesn't acknowledge it, don't stress out about it. They may not actually be online, or they could have not just seen it because they were busy. However, the new quick chat feature does make this a little bit easier. One thing that new players are probably unaware of is the Grove rule. What is the Grove rule? The Grove rule was actually created by the community when the chat feature went down once in game. The rule is simple. Whenever you find the grove at 12 a.m., you announce its location in the chat or flare it, either one. Then go to each flow tree and chop it one time, and then wait until 3 a.m. to cut the trees down. Why wait to 3 a.m., you ask? Well, that's a good question. Actually, I've only found this out a few months ago myself. Basically, this will just allow everyone time to get there and not miss the grove. However, some people will announce they are on their way in the chat. So make sure that you try to wait on them. I've actually had groups wait till like 4 or 5 a.m. in game, so everyone can make it there. As long as you tap the trees, you don't actually have to be there when the trees get cut. What I will usually do is announce it, tap the trees, and then go off farming or other things until everyone shows up. This one is probably one of the biggest pet peeves for most players. Nothing worse than going to try mining ore, such as Palium, only to get stone after stone. Whenever you're mining, you should take everything. That way, all of the minerals will respawn at the same time. This will also apply for oyster farming. Make sure to grab unopened and shells so the respawn rates will reset on both of them. You can just sell the shells for gold if you don't need them. There is nothing more frustrating than trying to go look for unopened shells only to find shells, because you have to farm the shells and then wait for everything to respawn. It can be so tempting when you come up on someone who is doing lures to just jump in. But this is one thing that can make a lot of players really mad really fast. First, if you run through the lure, which you honestly may not even see sometimes, depending on the server, lag, etc., that's understandable. But if you do see the lure and you just run right through it, you're more than likely going to scare a lot of the bugs off. So if you see it, try to go around it as much as possible. Second, if you just start bombing bugs, the others may not see it and miss out on catching them. So you should always ask to join first. Remember, lures aren't like trees or animals. To be honest, I think they need to change the lures in the future so that if you drop it, you automatically get credit for any bugs that are bombed. I've talked about this before, but I'll touch up on it here again just to be on the safe side. Anytime that you find a rare mineral, flower, or dynamic event, you should call it out in the chat. If you're afraid or simply just don't want to, simply use a flare. That will let people know that there's something there to look for. That's a wrap on this video. If I missed something, drop it in the comments below. Or if you have a question, you can also drop it below, as I like to read and answer all of my comments as much as possible. And if you like the video, make sure that you leave a like and share it with all your friends. I deeply appreciate it, and as always, stay safe, stay cozy, but most importantly, have fun gaming.